What's going on, y'all? It's Jonathan here from Drone Academy again, and today we're going to take a look at the Mavic 2 Pro. Some of you may know we're giving one away on our website. Check it out, the link's down below. If you haven't had a chance to enter yet, go do that because we're giving one away. Not this exact one, obviously this one's mine, but we're gonna give one to you as well. Now this is a Mavic Pro, the original OG Mavic Pro. We're gonna take a look at these two aircraft side by side. A lot of y'all have been talking about the Phantom 4 Pro version 2. Obviously, the Mavic 2 Pro also has a 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor. We're gonna take a look and see how they stack up with photography, videography, low light, pretty much everything you can look at. We're gonna see how the Mavic 2 Pro sets up, see if it's a worthy replacement of your Phantom 4 Pro. And then we're also, like I said, gonna take a look at it against the Mavic Pro, the original, just to see how far we've come in about a year and a half or 2 years. So let's go in and see what's in the box with the Mavic 2 Pro. See what you get for $1,449, what this will set you back. So let's see what you get for that, and then we'll take them flying. So cracking this thing open, it's about like what you would expect to see. You've got obviously the Mavic 2 Pro, which is the star of the show. You've got the new updated controller, as well as various accessories, charging cables, and a charging brick for the aircraft. So let me grab my OG Mavic Pro here and put them side by side. You can see they're roughly the same size, although the new Mavic is slightly longer than the original. And while I can confirm that it will fit in the original Mavic's leather carrying case, as well as the DJI goggles case, that's about where the compatibility ends, with the battery and the battery charger both being new in true DJI fashion. They can't allow you to reuse anything. Now, while the color scheme on this is slightly different than its predecessors, they did take notes from the Mavic Air with the removable control sticks, and so it's kind of a mixture of the Mavic Air's controller and the original Mavic Pro controller. It feels good in the hand, and if you've flown one of those other aircraft, you're going to be very familiar with this control. So this is the cable box. It of course has a USB to USB-C cable for pulling the images directly off the 8 gigs of onboard storage that the aircraft has. It's also got an extra set of control sticks and various cables if you need to move between Android or iOS on your device. And of course you have your standard charging brick. And like I said before, this is not compatible with the original Mavics or the Mavic Air. This is a totally different connector. So no hope for reusing one of your others. I don't know why they do that. Come on, DJI, can you get with that and just have one charger? Just one charger. That's just one. Oh well. Anyways. And so this last box, obviously, in addition to the instruction manuals, it also has the propellers. You get a full set of 4 plus 2 extra spares if you need them. And these are, of course, redesigned propellers from the original Mavic that are designed to give a quieter operation. And I can confirm that the Mavic 2 Pro is quite a bit quieter than the original Mavic. We'll be doing a test on that to show you exactly how much quieter it is coming up. So let's take a look at the actual aircraft itself. Like I said, not a huge departure in design-wise from the original Mavic. You can see there that it does have a little bit of an additional link there on the nose, but overall it's pretty similar in size and weight. And frankly, that a little bit extra length is well worth it to get all the additional sensors and the 20 megapixel shooter there that you got on the front. One of the first things that I noticed looking at the bottom is that the heatsink is gone. There's a new ventilation system that uses fans to pull air through it like they had in the Mavic Air. And frankly, I'm glad to have that because I can't tell you how many times I burnt my hands picking up this Mavic Pro, the original one. And one of the neat things that they added is the 2 LEDs there on the bottom, the yellow circles. And you can see that those are actually used for landing in darker conditions. That allows the vision positioning sensor a little bit more light there. One of the other neat changes that they made is you can see here these flaps on the bottom that they actually open up to show the pairing button, and on the other side is the actual micro USB port. Now, the reason why this is exciting, if you ever flew the original Mavic Pro, you know that if you wanted to get the micro SD card out, you had to open the legs up. Now, the change to move it to the bottom is just a slight change, but it's one that will actually save you a little bit of frustration and time, and means that you don't have to open the aircraft all the way up just to get the card out. Now, another change that they made that's very welcome in my opinion is the gimbal protector. They went with the same method that they used in the Mavic Air, in that it's all one piece, as opposed to the original Mavic Pro that had the gimbal protector as well as a gimbal stabilizer that you had to slide in there. This is all one piece. It's easy to come off, it's easy to go back on. It's a welcome change. You can tell that they took some of the tips and tricks that they learned from the Mavic Air and pushed those design cues into the Mavic Pro. And here you can see the star of the show, the 20 megapixel Hasselblad camera, 1-inch CMOS sensor with 10-bit color. Now that alone puts it on par with the Phantom 4 Pro. Now it doesn't have the global shutter like the Phantom 4 Pro does, the mechanical shutter, but unless you're doing mapping, you're gonna be more than willing to trade that mechanical shutter in for the portability that the Mavic provides. And of course, omnidirectional sensing was something that was talked about quite a bit. You can see there on the back and the sides, as well as the bottom that we showed you earlier. And of course, another new feature of the Mavic 2 series is that time of flight sensor on the top that will help keep you from climbing into an obstacle. And that'll be great if you operate under, say, a canopy of trees or anything like that. So that is the Mavic 2 Pro. And of course, the airframe is the same between the Pro and the Zoom. And DJI will actually swap those camera gimbals out for you if you send it back in. Now, we don't have a price for that yet, but it does also appear that it is technically user replaceable. Of course, let's get to what you're all here for, the video. In order to take advantage of the full 10-bit color capabilities of the Mavic 2 Pro, I shot all this in D-Log-M, which requires the H.265 codec. Now, this shouldn't require any difference in the post-production workflow, but it's just something to keep in mind as you're setting your aircraft up. And obviously, because it was a D-Log-M, this came out very flat, so I've done a little bit of color grading, but not a lot. You'd be surprised how light of a touch this aircraft requires to get the colors really nice. There was intermittent cloud cover when we were shooting this, so there were a few periods that were really bright, and I would have loved to have had an ND filter for this Mavic 2 Pro. Even with the ISO set at 100 and the f-stop way up high, there was still quite a bit of light hitting this Hasselblad camera, and you can tell that in the exposure of the shots. Over the last week or so of flying this thing, I've been really happy with it. I mean, to get all of these capabilities in such a portable package, you have the 10-bit color bringing enhanced dynamic range, you have color accuracy in the way it's represented, and you have a 20 megapixel Hasselblad sensor. It is amazing. So unless you really need to shoot 4K at 60 frames per second, or you need the mechanical shutter for mapping applications, I've got to be honest, the Mavic 2 is a really, really strong contender. And there you go, that's the Mavic 2 Pro. What do you think? Is it a replacement for the Phantom 4 Pro or just an upgrade for Mavic users? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget, we're giving one away. Check out our contest, the link is down below if you haven't had a chance to register yet. Also like and subscribe to this YouTube channel because we will be giving away more drones in the future and you don't want to miss that when we do. So until then, have fun and fly safe.